What is going on, guys? It is your boy Jason Love coming back at you with another video about non-CDL and CDL Hotshot. In this video, I want to talk about something that I find super interesting, something that's really important, something a lot of people don't know about, and I'm kind of just going to give you some tips and tricks, things to know when buying your truck, let's say brand new at a car dealership, or maybe even buying a used truck from a car dealership. But before we hop into this video, I want to remind you guys that tomorrow, which is Friday, the 23rd, the 22nd is tomorrow, right? Yeah. Friday the 22nd, we are going to be having our podcast, Hotshot Hindsight with Load Miser. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That's my time zone. 7 p.m. if you live in like Texas or Kentucky or kind of the Midwest area. And then 5 p.m. if you're in California. So find your time zone guide, but that is tomorrow, Friday, the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check that real quick. Boom. Yep. Friday the 22nd, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We will be having another Hotshot and Hindsight podcast, guys. But yeah, so real quick in this video, I just really want to go over some tips. If you guys don't know, I actually worked at a car lot for about 4 months. I sold both used cars and new cars, and I really do invite, I'd say, anybody who's younger to kind of get a job at a car lot. It taught me a lot about finance when it comes to banks. It taught me a lot about how to haggle, how to talk to people. But mostly I kind of learned the system when it came to vehicles and how dealerships make money off people, and how people can get good deals if they know certain things, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go over a couple tips here. If you guys have any questions or any other tips, drop them down in the comments below, and we'll go from there. And one last thing, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. You guys are so awesome. Let's get started. So number one is never pay MSRP. So MSRP is basically the retail price. That's what's going to be on the window usually. So how they get MSRP is basically you have an invoice cost, and that's like the amount the car lot's going to pay for that vehicle or the car dealership, and then they're gonna have MSRP. So it's usually about $3,000 or $4,000 in markup from MSRP to invoice. Okay, so it's like an invoice number. That's how much they're gonna pay. But the funny thing about it is, even if the car lot sells the vehicle at invoice, they have a thing called a holdback. So usually every car has about $1,500 worth of holdback. So if you can haggle that car down to invoice price, which would be a good deal, the car dealership is still going to make about $1,500 for selling that car. So if you buy that car at MSRP, you're talking usually $4,000 to $5,000 worth of profit for the car dealership. Which, I mean, if you're about it, run it. But you should never pay MSRP. You should always haggle the price. A lot of people think, oh, they have a good deal going off. This car is $2,000 off of MSRP. I mean, obviously it's $2,000 off, but if you think about it, the car dealership is still making a pretty hefty profit, so there's definitely is some room there to be able to get taken down the price so you guys get a better deal. So that's number one. Number two, it is better to sell your personal vehicle than to trade it in. Okay, guys? So I would say a lot of people, they want to trade in their vehicle to the car lot. Like it's easier to do it that way. You trade the vehicle in, you get a new vehicle. A car lot's going to give you the trade-in price for it. Basically what that means is going to be a $2,000 less than what that vehicle is actually worth retail-wise, because they have to sell the car as well. A lot of times they're going to hold on your trade-in. That's the way they're going to make more profits, by holding on your trade-in. So let's say your trade-in's worth $15,000. They're going to pull up, they have a system that's going to pull up all the different values on your car. They're going to find an average price that's good to offer. They're probably going to drop $500 off of that, and then they're going to offer you that price. So it's always better to sell your personal vehicle. If you know you're not going to be able to get more than one loan on a vehicle, sell your personal vehicle like on Facebook Marketplace or to somebody, and try to get as much money as possible out of it, and then you can go and buy a car just straight up. If you do trade in, a lot of times though, they will be able to roll over your negative equity from your old car and put it onto your new loan, which helps a lot of people get out of bad car loans. It helps them, get a newer vehicle. But yeah, I mean, it's always best just to sell that car and not try to trade in, or you're going to get a lot less for that car than what it's actually worth. Third tip I have to say is do your research. Kelley Blue Book, NADA. So look at the values of the vehicles, guys. First thing I would do is I would get all the information on the car. A lot of car lots are really good about pulling up, they'll pull up the Carfax on it. They'll let you know if it has any accidents or anything. But you can definitely pull the values of that car on your end. Okay, so I would pull that vehicle up on Kelley Blue Book. If it's brand new, Kelley Blue Book will tell you the invoice price. It'll tell you the MSRP. It'll tell you what people are normally paying for it, so you can definitely get a better view on that. NADA also will tell you basically the amount that banks are willing to loan. A lot of banks use NADA to see values and see how much they're willing to loan on a vehicle. So you can go on there and basically see how much that vehicle is worth. Do it for your trade-in as well. Get a ballpark estimate of how much money you want for your trade-in if you're going to trade in your car. But it's super important to do your research, maybe even print those pages out for you, because at the end of the day, you're going to be haggling with this car salesman, and he's going to be pulling up a lot of stuff that makes his side look good, so you better have some stuff to pull up to make your side look good. So that's something that's important. So number 4 is finance through your own bank when possible. Now, if you're buying brand new, a lot of times there's going to be a lot of good incentives to go with the banks that not that the dealership uses, but that the car makers own. So like Ford Motor has a bank, Chrysler Capital is going to be Chrysler's bank. And a lot of time if you finance through these people, they'll take like $2,000 off the car, which will give you a good enough deal. But I've seen that a lot of local banks like credit unions have really good rates. They'll be able to help you out a lot more than some of these other banks do. For example, I tried to buy a new car and I couldn't get approved with a lot of people, but then I went through a local bank and they were able to give me a super good rate. So if you think you can't get approved through going to the dealership, because a lot of people go to the dealership and say, do you offer financing? But when a dealership offers financing, all they really do is connect you with banks. That's all they do. So they send your information over to a bank. The bank's either going to approve or deny you, and they're going to send over the paperwork, and you're going to fill out the contract right there. It's the same exact thing you can do with your bank locally, and the bank will give you a check. You give the check to the dealership, you have a car. It's the same exact thing. Another thing to watch out on is for example, when you're going through these bigger banks that aren't like credit unions or just banks in general, the car lot is actually going to raise your interest rate on you a little bit. So let's say, for example, you get approved for like a 2.9% interest rate, which is a very competitive interest rate. They might show you like a 3.3% or a 3.4%. And that's how they're going to make money on the back end. So that's why I say go through your own bank when possible, especially if you're buying used. Find a bank that you can go through. Don't tell the car dealership, like don't tell your car salesman when you get there, don't say, hey, I have my own financing. Okay, make them think that you're going to finance with them, because that's how they're going to make money off the end. And then once you make a deal, you just say, hey, I have my own financing, I'll bring you a check for this amount. Okay, but yeah, some car dealerships will hold interest on you, meaning that they're going to add maybe 0.5% to the interest rate, which is going to cost you more money, but they're going to make more money in the long run. So yeah, go through your own bank when possible. Okay, number 5, stay away from extended warranties or certified pre-owns. There's one thing I think you should buy extra on your vehicle, and that is gap insurance. Gap insurance basically is what's the word I'm looking for? Is like a reinsurance of insurance, for example. So when, let's say, for example, you owe $15,000 on a car and you total that car out and it's your fault, for example. Your insurance company is only going to pay what that car is actually worth. So that might be $3,000 or $4,000 missing there. But when you purchase gap insurance, the gap insurance basically covers the gap, right? So they're going to cover that $3,000 or $4,000 to get you out of the loan free and clear. I think that's important for anybody who's going to be buying a car. I also think that's important for anybody who's in Hotshot, because you're going to run these trucks up the roof in miles really quick. So you're going to be fighting negative equity, which means you owe more money on your truck than what it's worth. And so that gap insurance really helps you keep it close if you do get any sort of an accident, which obviously we don't want to get into an accident. The reason I say to stay away from extended warranties and certified pre-owned, obviously it is from, like, it's on, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a base to base. Like, I mean, some might be good, some might be bad, but all the ones I've seen are way overpriced for what they are. A lot of times a car dealership is going to charge you $1,500 when in reality it only costs them $399. So if you want your vehicle to be a certified pre-owned, you might be able to up your powertrain warranty or something like that. Or if you want to buy any sort of extended warranties, make sure you haggle the price on those as well, because usually they're going to be marked up 3 times fold from what they actually cost the dealership. Another reason I say to stay away for Hotshot Trucking is because you're going to run through these extended warranties super quick. And a lot of times these warranties, or even your factory warranties, are going to have loopholes, and they're going to try to get out of your warranty work in the long run anyways. There's a lot of videos on that. Hauling Cash made a huge video about it with his truck. So yeah, go watch those videos, but I would generally just stay away from extended warranties or the certified pre-owned programs. Your factory warranty is going to be good enough to cover a lot of stuff for the first, year or so. So number 6, I would say, is Hagger All Fees. You don't know how many times I've seen when I was selling cars, or when I've been getting a car sold to me, the car's price is $17,000. They bring out a piece of paper, it says $19,200. They talk about pack fees. They talk about just all these other fees, guys. And you need to haggle those down, because a lot of those are just straight bull crap. A lot of people talk about a pack fee. A pack fee usually costs about $500 per car. What that is literally stands for protection against commission, which basically means that, you know, it's for the dealership to make money, and they're not going to pay that out in commission to the car salesman. And that's something that's, you know, I don't really like, and I think it's basically just stealing money. But yes, haggle all those fees, guys. There's no reason for you guys to pay all those fees. There's definitely room in those fees. A lot of them are there just for them to make money, and you guys need to realize that those, you don't have to get charged those at all, guys. You know, one tip I can give you guys: if you're going in to buy a vehicle, try to buy from somebody you know, somebody you trust. And tell them, hey, it's like, if you help me get the best deal, you know, I'll give you $200 or $300 under the table. Because a lot of times, if you're gonna haggle a deal down, those car salesmen are probably only gonna make $100 to $300 off of you. If you're really haggling the price. I've sold cars and made $1,000 on them because they don't want to haggle the price. It was an easy sale, blah blah. But when you haggle the price, obviously it's gonna directly affect the car salesman more than it affects the dealership. So if you tell the car salesman, hey man, I'll give you $200 or $300 extra, but please just help me get the best deal. Or if it's somebody you know, that's gonna be the best way to do it. But yeah, guys, I hope you can learn from this video. This is basically 6 tips or tricks when buying a new or used vehicle from a car lot. In this essence, I'm kind of talking about trucks in general for Hotshot Trucking, but it kind of goes with any vehicle you're going to buy from a car lot. But yeah, guys, I love you guys so much. Don't forget about the Hotshot podcast, Friday the 22nd at 6 p.m. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Unless you're watching this tomorrow, then it's today at 6 p.m. So yeah, guys, I love you guys so much. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.